What's up, guys? You know the vibes, City G vibes, and we're back at it again
with another episode. We about to go upstairs, catch up with our main man Gary, designer for Marvel products. You feel me? Let's check it out, see what he got cooking up. We about to go up there and check it out. Stay tuned.
What's up, guys? This is your girl Isabel, and today I'm here with my co-host
Jay, you know the vibes.
and we have a special guest.
How you doing, y'all? I'm Gary.
Whew. Gary, real quick, introduce yourself to the world. Let them know who you are.
All right, what's up, everybody? My name's Gary, also known as G to the Wall on Instagram, from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm currently a proud resident of Harlem. I'm just here with the City Jeans crew, just kicking it.
You feel me? We out here. You know the vibes. And my main man Gary brought us some kicks today. We about to get into that. But first, you feel me? We gotta let y'all know he's a amazing graphic designer, aka he also designs for Marvel, aka he also designs for himself. You feel me? This man is an overall talent. You feel me? He has everything. You feel me? Whew.
Appreciate that.
Let's get into these kicks.
All
These
right.
are fire. You don't really see such silhouettes these days. You feel me?
Yeah,
Especially
man. So
in these sizes.
I'm unfortunately a size 14, so it's very difficult to get kicks in my size.
That's mine and
Trust.
some.
Yeah.
Trust, I'm a
And-
13 myself, so I
Yeah,
know
so you know the struggle.
both rip.
Isabel, you might not know the struggle so
No.
much, and I'm kind of jealous of you, not gonna lie. But yeah, these are two of my favorites right here. This one's actually designed by a young designer named Maxwell Lund, and this was the first ever championship sneaker for the Pensole World Sneaker Championship, and it was a dope way to basically allow young and up and coming designers, have their silhouette out in the market.
To actually put it out there.
Yeah.
Give it a go at the world.
Yeah, so this was his first sneaker, and I know he's got a bright future ahead, and everything that this company's doing is crazy. So this is my favorite. This is like a piece of history right here. So
That is a piece of history.
yeah,
This silhouette sits and feels perfect in your hand.
yeah, and they're all hand made, they're handcrafted in a factory in Portugal. And it's actually interesting because Pensole and this factory, they both came together and they started a new brand called We Are Underdogs, and which allows a lot of other young up and coming designers to come up with their first signature shoe, because a lot of designers, like, you love certain sneakers. I'm sure you guys got sneakers in your arsenal that you love, and you never know who designed it, right?
Honestly.
Well, they're allowing people to give themselves a name based on their first design, so that people know this is their style.
This is theirs.
Yeah.
How much of these are made though?
They only made 200, and they were sold on Foot Locker the day after the championship. Yeah,
You're lucky.
I am very lucky. Yeah, shouts out to my boy Sean Williams, because OSD Paper Chaser, he's the one that put me onto this competition. I actually entered it last year. I didn't place, but it gave me an opportunity to try something I've never done before. So, I'm always trying to just do something that's different,
Honestly, it never hurts to try, even if you win or if you lose.
Not at all.
It's how you go through that battle, baby.
Yep.
You learn something all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. Oh.
You want to get to sneaker number 2, I see.
Let's get to sneaker number 2, baby.
All right. So
Oh
this
my
one
God.
is actually real slept on. I got this, I'd say about
I'm wide awake.
Yeah, 6 months ago. Well, I'm glad you're awake now. I've seen a lot of people's eyes get awake when they see these, on my feet. I'm probably because they're huge, but
Not even. That looks normal size to me.
yeah, but I mean, I'm always into like that futuristic look and everything like that. So I had to pick these up. But these are actually Pumas, and they did a collaboration with Diamond Supply.
I love Diamond Supply.
And me too.
As
And
a fellow skater.
yeah,
and
and
fellow consumer.
yeah. And they released these, I believe it was in September, October 2018. And literally on a few different sites, they were just sitting there, and I'm like, why? So I picked them up, and like they're one of my favorite kicks right now.
Even it has like the little clips.
Yeah, so you don't have to use that. You can have
You
it
can
go on the
take
back.
it off. You could just.
Yep,
You can wrap
Oh,
around.
wow.
You can wrap it around the back, yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, that's one little teeny
detail.
but it
It's
makes
the
all the difference.
simple
Yeah.
things that count. Like
Yeah.
if you want more support in the front, you feel me? It's a laceless kick.
Yep.
If you want more support in your ankle, you feel me?
Exactly.
Everybody's feet is different.
Yep.
And the fact that Diamond Supply got this perfect color on it.
Yo,
Oh my
I
God.
love that sneaker. Like people like, oh, you know, that looks too space age, but
I like you say the futuristic look.
Yeah,
I like that
I like
as
the
well.
futuristic
Like,
look.
if
Well,
you see
we are
how
in the
pretty.
future.
Ooh,
well, we design for the future. That's what I always say. Like the creators, we design for the future. We don't design for the past because it's already done.
Now that we got the shoes on the table out the way, I just want to ask you real quickly, what's on your feet, bro?
It's on my feet.
What's on your feet?
Well,
bro?
right now I got on the Virgil Abloh, the Blazer, the Halloween joints. They were the only off-white Nikes I was able to cop, but I had to do it because like Virgil is such an inspiration to me. You know, there aren't very many people of color that are known for their design prowess and their expertise, and especially in a market like the sneaker world where, you know, we are the inspiration
And the
for what comes out and the consumers. So
we let the world know what is hitting.
exactly.
For the way he's hitting with these.
Yeah, and he's the right person for it. Like I honestly, you know, at first I was a little iffy on it, but then I kept seeing what he was doing and the consistency was there, and I'm like, yo, he's on to something. So, you know, I can't do anything but respect the man.
Honestly, same. Shout out to him.
Peace.
I got a couple other questions for you, bro.
All right, what you got? What you got?
Who, since you work with Marvel, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a tough one. Put you on the spot. Who's your favorite Marvel character?
All right, I'm glad you asked me that. Yeah, you put me on the spot right now. I hope my Marvel fam, you know, they appreciate this answer. But ever since I was a kid, my go-to Marvel character, just based on looks alone, appearance, ability, everything, was Gambit. You know, I just like the fact that he had kind of like a ninja fighting style. He used a bow staff, and little stupid thing about me, you hear the cards. But, you know, I came up in the whole, you know, Ninja Turtle generation, so I wanted to learn karate. So as a kid, I was like, I want to learn the bow staff because of him.
Because of Gambit.
So I learned the
Gambit
bow
is
staff.
slept on.
He is slept
Gambit
on.
is slept on.
He's supposed to have a movie, but I don't know if they're going to do it. I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope so too, honestly. Because I messed up.
Well, on that note, I have a question myself.
Okay.
You work for Marvel. You love sneakers. You're very creative. How do you connect your job with your art and other things that you do?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So, you know, my day job, I work at a company. I'm a watch designer by day. I've been a watch designer since I moved to New York for the last 12 years. And so Marvel is one of the licenses we work with. And, you know, unfortunately, I don't really get to infuse a lot of that culture into the stuff I design just because it's specific for a certain market. However, I always pay attention to a color theory. And I always try to maintain a balance between the colors that I use in the watches that I make versus colors that can be, you know, seen in other things like t-shirts and other accessories, so that at least, you know, your accessories kind of match something that you got on. So I'm always trying to look after, you know, the different color relationships that go on in my designs versus other people's designs, because I want to make sure that, you know, someone goes to the store, they get a shirt, they get a pair of kicks, they get something else that it all goes together.
Easily match with it too, you feel me? What got you started into collecting sneakers? Like, what motivated you to be like, you know what, I like these, I gotta keep getting these?
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, one of the two people, believe it or not, that got me into this, one of which you interviewed a couple weeks ago, Jody Rockstar. So Jody used to be a co-worker of mine, and actually is a co-worker of mine again now with the company that we both work at. So it's like, it's a crazy world. But I didn't realize that she was so hard into the sneaker world. And then I was like, wait a second, that's your Instagram?
Oh my God.
And I saw all the, you know, all the heat that she had on. And then she, every day, she has another pair of sneakers on. I'm like, I gotta try that too. Like, I grew up as a clearance rack kid, so I always had like, you know, $30 pair of kicks that, you know, they were hot like 4 years ago. And they never sold the size 14s because there was no one else buying them. So they ended up in, you know, JCPenney, like Marshall.
One pair of 14s.
Exactly. And, you know, they're in the bin, so you got to go and ruffle through them or whatever. But so Jody was a huge inspiration to me, and she was actually the one that put me on to a lot of stores. She put me on the City Jeans also.
Shout out to City Jeans.
Yeah, shout out to City Jeans. Y'all doing some crazy and great stuff out there, man.
Shout out to both of y'all.
Yeah. So, you know, she was a huge inspiration, and I mentioned before, Sean Williams, you know, I worked with him when I was the creative director of Flood, the watch brand that I'm wearing right now.
So,
And he's been heavy in the sneaker industry. He actually has a class called Social Studies. Social Studies. And
Wow.
it's a class that teaches
Social
studies. And it's a class that, you know, he's actually has an accredited course now at Drexel University where he teaches kids, you know, the ins and outs of the sneaker industry. And he taught me a lot, and he's the one that got me into, you know, why don't you start designing shoes, because you can draw. Like, what are you doing? That's a good point. So
you need to keep friends like that around.
Yo, and he just keeps pushing me to do more things. Like, I went to Brooklyn Shoe Space and I made a pair of sneakers in 2 days, like from scratch. I designed a pair and built it by hand from scratch in 2 days. And
that's what I'm talking about right there.
you know, he set that up for me, and I'm just like, I'm forever grateful. That's why, like, I always try to support anyone in the sneaker industry, because I understand the process that people go through to do it. You know, people look at the price, they look at the sneaker, like, oh, it's not worth that. No, people put a lot of work into this.
Dedication.
And I thought the same way they did, and now I think completely different. So having that type of perspective from people that I respect, that changes everything for me.
Alright, so now that we're into talking about designs and stuff, you mentioned a sneaker competition, you're a watch designer. Do you have anything that we can see today?
Yeah, I always carry around my sketchbook with me, like everywhere I go in the city. That's what I do. So, so basically, when I first started, this was the first sneaker study that I did in 2017.
R1s right there.
Yeah.
Baby. Oh my
These are actually the XR ones.
That's what I meant to
The
say.
the NMD XR ones, and this was like right after. My boy Sean was like, hey, you know what, you should start sketching sneakers. Just do it. He wasn't telling me anything. He wasn't giving me any hints. He was just like, just start doing it.
Dibble and dabble.
Yep. So
That was your first sketch.
that was my first sketch, and then my second right after were the Hirachis.
Wow.
So I was like,
water-based?
this is actually Prismacolor marker.
Oh.
So I just have a whole gray set from lightest gray to darkest to black, and I just started going in and adding it and just adding some pen detail afterwards.
This is so amazing, bro.
Thanks, man. And then I started kind of going crazy with, let me try to get to some of the originals. Like, they were really bad. The proportions were really bad. Like here, you know, the proportions were just bad. Like, I didn't really understand. But also, in my defense, the proportions are wrong in my head because my feet are so big. I'm serious, because I always think about, okay, well, I have long feet, so I have to make sure the silhouette's long, but it doesn't look right. And then after a while, I started doing some tutorials and going online and things like that, and research and whatnot, and then my proportions started getting better. And this is when I started designing for the World Sneaker Championship. And as you can see, I have a lot of the same, you know,
Concepts.
Yeah, the same ideas that kind of pop up here and there. The highs and stuff like that, you know, trying to see what it would look like on people's feet.
Once again, that futuristic.
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
And eventually what I ended up getting to, I can't remember how many I had, but I would always try to do things that had segments. I don't really like laces on sneakers. As you can tell, like my sneakers, I don't tie them because I don't really like them. Yeah, I don't like laces. I never did. Ever since I was a kid, I never liked to tie my shoes.
And they always get caught. Like every time I'm driving, it gets caught under the pedal of it.
Yeah.
Man, what if I wanted to brake?
What if I wanted to brake? But yeah, so like, you know, I started getting crazy with it, and then I started sketching every day. So like this would be like one group of sketches I would do on the train, and then I do another sketch on the way home.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thanks, man. So eventually I ended up, you know, I started refining the look, and you can see how they went from really rough and bad to now they're starting to look more.
It was amazing seeing these lovely kicks today, bro. You feel me? Especially this bad boy. No offense to this bad boy.
Everyone's got a favorite, you know.
Oh, for real. Yeah. I really love Diamond Supply, bro. Like, just because I'm a skateboarder. But I really want to appreciate you for coming out here today, bro. Showing us your wonderful kicks, spreading your knowledge. You feel me? Having you was amazing, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime and every
Great to
time.
be here. Yes.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a
Follow
friend.
his Instagram.
Facts. Follow his Instagram.
Check out his art.
You feel me? Show love to his whole page, honestly. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
To tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.